Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This is Basharat Salim, and I would like to welcome you all to ISNA's Friday Reflections program. Jummah Mubarak to all of you, inshallah. Today, our guest is Dr. Syed Masroor Shah. So I will begin by introducing him and inshallah then ask him to speak. Dr. Syed Masroor Shah is a retired radiation physicist living in Newburgh, Indiana. He is a long-standing member of ISNA and is currently serving as the chair of ISNA's Green Initiative Committee. Through this committee, he has coordinated many projects, webinars, and forged alliances to bring awareness about climate change and green initiatives. Dr. Shah has been an active volunteer in ISNA and MSET since 1977. He has served as chairperson on ISNA's Convention Committee in 1982-83. He is a member of ISNA's Founders Committee, member of ISNA Masjid Development Committee, past president of MSET, past board member of the North American Islamic Trust, NATE, member of the Board of Trustees of Islamic Society of Evansville, member board of directors of Hoosier Interfaith Power and Light, member Evansville Habitat for Humanity Interfaith Committee, member Interfaith Partners at the University of Evansville, and has received the State of Indiana Golden Hoosier Award in 2010. Please welcome Dr. Syed Masroor Shah. Please go ahead, Dr. Shah.
Assalamu alaikum. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. There is no denial that the climate change and environmental degradation is an existential threat to our planet. All genuine scientific studies continuously draw our attention to the perils of global warming, extraordinary forest fires, more damaging hurricanes are the obvious signs of the climate change caused by the human actions. As recently as about 10 days ago, the German Wagner Institute ship Palestine has returned from Arctic after 369 days mission of research. According to the news reports of the reaction of the team on the ship, the Arctic Sea is having a dramatic effect of global warming and is dying. The North Pole is badly eroded through melted and brittle ice. One can go on and on about similar examples. We recognize that Islam has ordained us to be the stewards and protectors of this planet. There are more than 700 verses in Quran and scores of hadiths which directly or indirectly deal with the environment. This is our obligation to remember and respect our planet, which through the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provides us with the sustenance to nourish our bodies and community spread. It is also to be noted that recognizing the severity of the climate change, Muslim scholars meeting in Istanbul in September 2015 issued Islamic Declaration on Global Climate Change, which highlights the consequences of humanity's massive exploitation of Earth. The declaration calls upon Muslims to tackle the habits, mindset, and root causes of climate change, the environmental degradation, and loss of the biodiversity wherever they can to resolve these issues. As a reminder to ourselves, let me mention the translation from Ayah 13 from Surah Al-Jasiyah. The translation says, "And he has made subservient to you as a gift from himself and all that is in the universe and on the earth. In this, behold, there are messages indeed for the people who think, meaning by endowing humans with a creative mind alone among all living beings, and thus with the ability to make conscious use of the nature that surrounds him and is within him. That translates into interacting mindfully with our environment is simply a manifestation of faith. I will not discuss other related Quranic verses and hadiths. Brothers Imam Safed Kachevik had few weeks ago elaborated the spiritual aspect of the climate change on this program. Now, I'm going to discuss what ISNA Green Initiative is about as an important project for environmental engagement. It also recognizes not only ISNA's responsibility, but that our Masajid and Islamic centers have the same responsibility to lead the Muslim communities and individuals towards adopting environmentally friendly practices. We all understand that global warming can only be slowed down by international governmental cooperation and commitment. However, Masajid Islamic centers can and must play an active role in reducing environmental degradation. ISNA Green Initiative on its part is promoting eco-friendly practices among Muslim individuals and communities and need your cooperation. As you can see from this graph, which was published in January of this year from NASA and National Oceanic Atmospheric Agency of the United States, that reveals that 2019 was the second warmest year on the record. As we can see that slowly from 1950 onward, there is a gradual increase in the temperature of the world. If it is not checked, then there it will be a point of no return. Climate change is not a hoax. You can see from this global picture that the temperature is going up and up as shown by the NASA photograph. And unfortunately, the most of the high temperatures are going to impact the countries where majority of the Muslims live. And so this is not only a issue for us, but also for, in general, for the Muslims all over. In addition to the climate warming, you can see that pollution caused by the plastic use is, you can see that there is almost an artificial island from the plastic in the Pacific Island. And as the fact says that there are currently more than 5 trillion pieces of plastic in the world's oceans. Not only that, but also it's being now more and more recognized that the microparticles of the plastic are being ingested by the fish, and that is also going to have an impact on the health of the people. Of course, the environmental degradation is caused by the human activities, which is nothing new. They consume resources and produce waste. However, the difference is that now not only the population has been increasing, but at the same time, the consumption of resources have increased astronomically. Not only the developed countries, but underdeveloped countries or developing countries are fastly using resources, or in other words, they are misusing resources. Non-renewable resources, including energy and productive lands, which includes forests, pastures, cropland, fisheries, are dwindling fast. It now takes the Earth 1 year and 6 months to regenerate what we use in a year. ISNA Green Initiative volunteer team consists of Huda Al-Kaf, Safet Kachovic, Nana Farman, and myself. Now, the Green Initiative engagement has taken several projects, and I'm going to talk about them. You can, if you want to, you can look on the ISNA website and go to the Green Initiatives part of that and find out the more details about our projects. Some of the projects have been as annual Green Ramadan campaign, environmental awareness through education and partnership, energy conservation promotion, partnership with EPA for Energy Star program, developing environmental standards for Masajid, awareness of and promotion of environmental justice. Annual Green Ramadan campaign has been going on since 2015, and it focuses on that as the spirit of the Ramadan, that we should have less consumption, have more conservation, and more spiritual lifting and social good. That translates into that we should reduce the food waste and overconsumption. You should reduce use of plastic utensils and styrofoam, reduce use of the bottled water, and adopt conservation practices by saving energy and water. One should have at least one khutbah during that or just before Ramadan. Start or expand a garden, social good and outreach participation, involve children in greening the Ramadan. So this is the focus of our annual Green Ramadan campaign. It has been adopted by many of the masajid in this country, but also some of the masajid overseas have also adopted this program. Our part of the environmental awareness through education and partnership includes the ISNA Green Initiative has produced a Green Masjid as a part of Green Masjid project, a guide booklet for masajid, which can be downloaded from ISNA website. This gives some of the steps how the masajid can take a partnership in reducing the environment, helping the environment. Every year we have several webinars related with the environment and Green Ramadan. The team has published at least 6 articles on in Islamic Horizon related to environment. We have secured from ISNA the declaration about the divestment in fossil fuel industry. We have been providing lectures about environment, climate change, and conservation at masajid whenever an opportunity is available. Partnership with we are doing partnership with our interfaith environmental organizations. Energy conservation promotion is another key part of our efforts. We need to have all the masajid and individuals start using energy efficient lights and appliances. For not only it's saved the energy, but it saved the money also, that when they install the auto temperature control systems, monitoring and reducing energy consumption, and improve insulation, as well as installation of solar panels are passive heating. I will talk about the solar panels a little later also. One of our recent effort was having a partnership with EPA. Excuse me, let me get back to that. I'm not able to open this PDF file which shows the cover of the booklet. Unfortunately, I cannot open. I thought I would be able to open it. But that shows our partnership with the EPA. This is the first time any government agency has partnered with any Muslim organization. ISNA is the one who have partnered with them for Energy Star program. And ISNA is proud to have this cooperation. The EPA will provide all the assistance to the Masajid who wants to start a Energy Star program. That means they can use the EPA resources to reduce their energy consumption as well as save the money. The booklet, which is about 80 pages, has a joint work of this team as well as the EPA personnel. It deals with the environmental protection and the saving energy from the Islamic perspective. And it's surprisingly that the EPA was very agreeable to put the Islamic point of view in there. Unfortunately, I cannot open that. You can look this on the ISNA website. Go to the ISNA website on the Green Initiative, and you can look on the this booklet. This guide for the Muslim communities. We have the work in progress. As you see, we want to develop some standards for existing mosques to see what is required them to classify as eco-friendly masajid. Same is that we want to recommend for the new masajid construction that they should have their new places as environmentally conscious as possible. That means they should have green architecture. And then the last one, which is a very important part, and not much attention has been given to that one, is the awareness and promotion of environmental justice. Most of the countries where the majority of Muslims are, this environmental justice is a very critical issue, not only there, but in this country also, are all over the world in other ways. Now, we need to see that what role the masajid should have in protection and preservation of the environment. As both Quran and Hadith emphasize, protecting and valuing the environment, a central component of faith. Recognizing that, masajid and Islamic centers must take a leading part in conservation and preservation of dwindling natural resources. This is, in a way, is our obligation. How we will classify an ideal green masjid. Now we know that all the masajid, they are the spiritual centers strengthening faith of Muslims. They are role models of community care and outreach programs, and many of them are very active in this area. Many of them are inclusive, safe, secure, women and children friendly, and respectful of the neighborhood. However, masajid also needs to follow environmental preservation principles and create an oasis of calm and sustainability in an urban environment by being eco-friendly. This is where our masajid and Islamic centers unfortunately lack. And our effort is that to make them conscious to do that. We know that almost all masajid in USA arrange community dinners in Ramadan and at many other occasions. In those, a substantial amount of food is wasted. Plastic bottles, styrofoam plates and cups, and aluminum cans go in the trash. Not many masajid have any energy conservation programs, water conservation programs, efforts and recycling programs. By the way, styrofoam does not decay easily. It is said that if Prophet ﷺ had used styrofoam at his time, then still it will not be degraded. So we have to make an effort that all the masajid should avoid to use the styrofoam products. So what we would like the masajid and Islamic centers and individuals to pledge to make a change. We also recognize that big changes don't come at one time. They come through the step at a time, are small steps to take in. And that's, if we take small steps, then it can lead to the big results. To begin with, this is something which all of us need to pay more and more attention, that reduce, recycle, reuse. And we have added now to this 3 R's as rethink. Whatever we do, we should think about that. We need to focus on water, food, energy, plastics, aluminum cans, and other recyclable items. This is the biggest waste of water when we do the wuzu in the masajid. People feel like that they have to open the faucet fully so that they can have a better wudu. Although the tradition of the Prophet ﷺ was that he will use very small amount of water for his wudu. So hopefully we can start using that tradition. Now we can change our faucets to the sensor operated one, and that by changing them, you will save each time about 70% of the water. Now recognize that the water is, saving the water is not only the environmental service, but at the same time, it's a big saving on the money. Now, not only that you save the money on the water bill, but the sewer bill contains a big chunk of what water you have used in there. So this is one thing which all the masajid needs to pay attention to that. Bottled water is another worst polluter in the world, as you have seen in the early part, the picture that it's becoming almost an island in Pacific. Average American drank about 29 gallons of bottled water in 2011. About 70% of water bottles are not recycled, and they end up in landfill or incinerated. Takes a long time to decompose, costs a lot of money to local governments and thus taxpayers, which we are. You can see the amount of bottles. Now here, if you could, I'm not going to go through all this in detail, but you can see that bottled water is so costly, while your own water from the tap is hardly cost anything. There is recycling, only 1 in 5 water bottles are ever recycled. There are about, if I can say, that 17 million barrels of oil are used in the production of plastic water bottles each year, which translates to about 1 million fuel for 1 million cars per year. So the best part for us is to avoid bottled water, which the cost of the water is really minimal, but the cost which you pay goes for other things like bottling, packaging, shipping, and so forth. Also, we need to recognize that bottled water is not regulated, and you can see from here. However, the municipal water which you use is regulated by the EPA. Now, exceptions are there are some areas in this country where there are old pipe systems and the tap water may not be safe, but overall, almost everywhere the water which we use is safe. Energy conservation needs efficient lights, improve auto temperature control, and solar panels. We need to installing the solar panels is one thing which every masjid and Islamic center should consider seriously. This is the God-given energy which is free and we can use it. That not only you save the environment by reducing the use of energy, but at the same time there is in the long term tremendous saving to the masajid by using that. On the average, you can pay for the installation in about 15 years, but the lifetime is more than 25 years. So the rest of the 10 years, whatever energy you are getting is free. This financing can be done to raise funds from the congregation, seeks grants, member pledge for the cost of each panel, crowdfunding by farming a for-profit company, or solar lease financing wherever it is available. But this is something I suggest that all the masajids should consider seriously to install the solar panels. Involving children is very critical. Education of our children is a key ingredient in the recipe to save our earth. There could be many projects with the children as part of the religious teaching. They should be trained to litter picking, cleaning up, and even cleaning of the surrounding areas. Recycling projects are something which they should be taught to do that. Children, if you involve them, they love to be part of your projects, as you can see from here, that planting the trees, they love to do something like that. And same is this, the boys and girls, you can see them, they are doing that. Planting the seeds of trees and seeds, these are two powerful hadiths. If the hour of the day of resurrection is about to be established, and one of you was holding a palm shoot, let him take the advantage of even 1 second before the hour is established to plant it. So you can imagine how powerful is this hadith. If a Muslim plants a tree or sows seeds and then a bird or a person or animal eats from it, it is regarded as a charitable gift. So recycling is, I will say, that recycle, and recycle. That's something we need to remember. And use washable or biodegradable cups and plastic plates. Remind the community regularly through poster and other media about the value of the recycling. There are some things which I will say in summary that a mosque should have: green architecture, efficient lighting, water management, conservation, recycling, and tree community gardens. Food management in Ramadan, litter cleanup, eco-children, reuse or donate, educational workshops, and as we see from the Quran, that do not cause any disruption on earth after it has been so well ordered. So we need to remember that by our actions, we are changing that order, and hopefully we do not go to that extreme that it may not be reversible. As there is no planet B, when the Earth dies, where will we be living? Thank you so much.
Jazakallahu khairan. Thank you so much, Dr. Masroor Shah, for your time today and addressing this very important topic of climate change. A lot of information was presented. As all of you know, that ISNA has a dedicated committee that works on this area of climate change, and we want to create awareness among our community to do their part. We understand that if you were to pick the top 3 challenges facing our world today, climate change would be among those 3 challenges. And this is a very serious challenge. People have been talking about it for a very long time now. While as the big steps have to be taken at the national and international level, but I think as individuals, we can also take small steps. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. We have been hearing those words for quite some time. So inshallah, this is the time to implement those in our daily lives. Jazakallah khair. Thank you to all of you for attending our Friday reflections. Please continue to do so. Every Friday, we bring in a speaker and we address a topic that is beneficial to our community. ISNA is also doing other virtual programming while we face this current pandemic. We will be organizing a CERA conference on November 13th at 7:30 p.m. Please log on and visit our website for more details on that. We are also continuing our youth programs on a very regular basis. So please visit again our isna.net, or you can also go to myna.org, myna.org. In our programming, we will also be arranging a women's leadership forum in the month of December, and then we will be having an education conference online in the month of January. So please stay engaged and sign up for our e-newsletter if you are not getting that. Finally, this is election season. Some of you have already voted. The voting is on. So please remember to cast your ballot in these elections. That's a civic duty. That's your responsibility as a citizen. So please fulfill that responsibility. Jazakallahu khairan. Thank you to all of you for staying with ISNA. And inshallah, we are counting on your involvement and your support. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.